seminal paper they published in 1995, that wasn't true. After the spike, the virus plateaued out. And in fact, if you measured those levels, you could predict how rapidly a person would progress to AIDS. They had high levels of virus that progressed more rapidly, and low levels that didn't. We had set up a P7 assay because we found that HIV-infected individuals didn't make appreciable amounts of antibodies to P7, or the nucleocapsid protein. So we thought we could set up a capture assay, and that might help with some of the quantitations. But Jeff, being way ahead of us at the time, and luckily he was in our lab also, identified the capability of using real-time PCR. And we actually got one of the first instruments. It wasn't put into pharmaceutical companies, and we were able to move forward. Of course, as you all know, it's used extensively, and it's been great looking at pathogenesis of HIV infection, but also, as important, or maybe more important, it's been used to look at the efficacy of various types of drugs used to treat HIV-infected individuals. So, luckily, we were able to set up that first, as Jeff said, International Retroviral Nucleocapsid Symposium. And I did call it first, and I did call it international intentionally. We brought our colleagues over from Europe. I think the first meeting was June 21st through the 24th of 1998. These are the speakers. And if you look carefully, I would point them out, but I don't have a speaker. But if you look carefully at this, it's sprinkled with people that have continued to be the core of research done with nucleocapsid proteins. You look at the organizing committee, and you look at the scientific committee, even at this symposium, and you can see many of the people that were here. Jean-Luc was nice enough to show that we actually gave out coffee cups at the meeting as well.
I remember you offered him wine in a box as well.
That's right. Jean-Luc loved the wine in the box that we gave. And the major controversy, by the way, at this meeting was whether or not it was P7 or P9. But it shows you how this meeting is truly grown. This is the participants that were there. And fortunately, it did accomplish it accomplished some of the things that I wanted. I wanted it to be the first of many symposia that would occur after that, and I was hoping someone would step up for the next one. And I also wanted it to encourage collaboration. So I got this email. I'm sorry, not an email. It was actually a letter, wasn't it? Because we were exchanging. And for the young people in the audience, floppy disk is what we use. And he was lucky he could read it on his PC.
What's a letter?
So we looked at the possible dates. Let's see, I don't know if I have that highlighted or not yet. But one of the areas that I was particularly intrigued in was this one. It said Saturday evening, restaurant dancing with speakers and chairmen. And then he also said, so I was really looking forward to that meeting. And I read it several times, and I think what he meant is chairmen and chairwomen. Oh, yeah, right. So we, and one of the things that I'll notice, and that I wanted to point out, one of the things we've done at the symposium, which has been very gratifying, is that we've been able to bring young investigators into it, and especially students and young postdocs. And we tried to move forward in having that occur. And we were successful in setting up collaborations because Jean-Luc said, P.S. at the bottom, did you send the viruses? But it was a delightful meeting that we had, that Jean-Luc and Bernard Roques were hosts for us. I think I saw this in your presentation. So this is the program for that. And although I don't have a group shot for this one, Jean-Luc did teach some of our colleagues how to mountain bike. And he did know how to get them in compromising situations so he could ensure that he could get the collaborations done.
left my fingernails in the rocks.
So then the third one came up. We hosted it back at Frederick. I had moved into a more administrative function, so Rob Gorlick stepped up and did a yeoman's task on putting it together. We had this one we held in Annapolis, and I don't know if you can see from there, but it's many of the same subjects. We had some nice we had a nice boating on the Chesapeake Bay and some of the Maryland crabs, as I recall. Eves then stepped up to the next one. This is the one we had in Strasbourg, and it was a phenomenal meeting. I truly enjoyed the one we had in Strasbourg. And let me take a moment just to thank the hosts that we had, because not only did they host these meetings, but they were responsible for helping with the organizing committee, the scientific endeavors, but also raising money. And I can tell you, if you talk to each of the hosts, that was not an easy endeavor to raise the funds. Unfortunately, I think as we move into the future, raising funds for these types of meetings is going to be more and more difficult. So these are the participants that we had there in Strasbourg. And I finally understood what Luke meant when he said "and women" at the meeting. So if I'd have known that, I would have organized the meetings much earlier than we had. We then went back to North America, and Larry and Mark served as hosts there in Montreal. And again, I didn't have a group shot, but you can see as we walk around many of the same participants that you see if you walk around at this meeting. I don't think Mark is here, but certainly Judy is here. And yeah, we know those three very well. And then Ben did a great job in the meeting we had in Amsterdam. We had canal tours. We had just a phenomenal time. And here again are the participants. It looks like the same ones over and over. Actually, I took the same picture and just relabeled them. But no, these are, and you can see we age with grace. And then finally, we moved back to North America, and Lou and Kavin were hosts for the one that we had in Minneapolis. Had a nice tour on the river. Had a chance to look at the bridge that had collapsed, and saw the parts that were left over from it. So, and of course, this meeting has been just it's been delightful for me with both Gilles and Sebastian. I just wanted to thank you, and you've been a phenomenal host for us.